So around 3 years ago, I decided to make changes in my life, changes that I still carry on to this day, changes that have made permanent and positive impacts throughout my life. And today I would like to talk about change and why it's uncomfortable and difficult and awkward. So I'm gonna show two photos of me, one from 3 years ago and one from this year. Do you notice any differences? I would hope so, because I put in a lot of work into being this person. While some of you might say that there's not a lot of physical differences, there is actually a lot of mental differences, a lot of growth, a lot of growing up, a lot of growth went into the person who I am now compared to the person who I was. And the journey from A to B has not been easy nor comfortable. I remember when I first joined the gym in 2019, it was early 2019. And the months prior to that, I was a slave to my habits. I was not sleeping, I was smoking. My mental health was poor, and that went on for a while before I eventually decided to take control. I would like to share some of the lessons that I learned from then. And the biggest thing from that journey is that change is so uncomfortable and change is so awkward. It feels like you're not yourself. And funny enough, I'm going through that change right now. I recently made huge decisions that will impact my future for the best. A lot of us have the notion that making decisions or making change is easy. You just think and it'll happen. But it's not. Once you make the decision, sure, things might change around it. Environment might change. People around you might change. The thing with our brain is at its normal state right now, wherever you are, the way that it is right now is because of years of habits and actions and thinking and patterns that you've built to where you are now. If you have a habit of being a good student, habit of going to the gym, being physically fit, that is ingrained in your brain. That's why people say old habits die hard, because they do die hard. The point I'm trying to make is that when you're making a big change in life, when you're transitioning from being this kind of person and you eventually decided to be another type of person, there's a lot of mental changes gonna occur, and a lot of it is gonna be uncomfortable. Over the past couple weeks, I haven't felt like myself. I felt apathetic. I felt like I was losing myself or my personality. But since I've experienced this before, I'm aware that something like this is part of it. It's part of the process. And I'm able to separate myself from how I'm feeling then and what I need to do now, because those feelings can be very debilitating and it can hinder you from doing any work or doing anything at all. Having that previous experience, it gives you an edge because you understand the emotions, you understand the feelings, and you know that it's part of the process. There's a quote that I've heard a couple times. It goes something like this: to get things you've never had, you have to do things you've never done. Actions, thoughts, environments will change. When change happens at such a major level or such a high level, people's opinions, people's thoughts, people's feelings towards you will change. Your feelings, your opinions, your thoughts towards yourself will change. And that's okay. That's all part of it. Some people will resent you, some people will support you. And it's important to see which kind of people those are in your life. So, for those of you who are trying to make a change in their life and you're at that point where it's not very comfortable, I'm proud of you. I really am. Because for majority of people, starting is the hardest part. Once you make a decision, your mental state shifts into identity of this person that you want. For those people who haven't experienced what it's like, it's weird. You're not gonna feel like yourself. And it's important to realize that that's part of the journey. It will be so uncomfortable regardless. It's gonna reach to a point where the new person that you chose to be, and the identity, the goals, everything, emotions, feelings that came with this new person is gonna feel normal to you. You're gonna acclimate to it. You're gonna adapt. You're gonna feel. It's hard to say. It's hard to explain. Some people around you might notice the change that you'll go through. Some people might notice the differences. Some people might make comment about it, or some people will just notice it and not say anything. And a lot of people want the attention that other people give them when they're doing something good. They want the pat on the back. Not everyone's gonna say that, and that's okay. As long as you see the change for yourself, then what everyone else says does not matter. Change is an uncomfortable thing. It's gonna come with a lot of discomfort because you're transitioning from an older version of yourself into a potentially new one that's hopefully gonna be better. And a lot of things will change for you. It has to. If things didn't change for you, are you even going through growth? Or is anything new even happening? So, what I've learned recently is to just lean in towards the discomfort instead of trying to run away and escape it, because I've realized that it's part of it. It's part of the process. I sound like a broken record saying it, but it is part of the process. And as everyone says it, is it Joel Embiid? Or as everyone says it, you have to trust the process. It is part of it. That's my message here today. If you're going for something new, something that you want, something exciting, you just want to try something new, it's important to realize that discomfort is going to be there. Sometimes it's going to feel like a lot, but you have to tell yourself that it's part of it and that you can handle it. I think that's all. Yeah. Goodbye.